Hello, and thank you for taking a few minutes for your health today. I'm a doctor, and over my many years of practice, I've seen firsthand the devastating impact a stroke can have on a person and their family. I've held the hands of spouses in waiting rooms, explained difficult news to children, and worked with incredible patients on their long road to recovery. But I've also seen something else, something that gives me hope. I've seen people who, because they knew what to look for, got to the hospital in time and walked out just a few days later, their lives almost completely untouched. That brings me to a critical and perhaps shocking truth I want to share with you. A stroke doesn't always strike like a lightning bolt out of a clear blue sky. Often, it sends out warning signals first. These are subtle whispers, little clues that something is wrong. The tragedy is that these whispers are frequently dismissed as just a part of getting older, a funny turn, or a sign of being tired. So, let me ask you this. Do you know with certainty that you could recognize a stroke, in yourself or a loved one, before it causes irreversible damage? Don't wait until it's too late to learn. The knowledge you gain today could be the most powerful medicine you ever have. In this article, we are going to pull back the curtain on stroke. We'll talk plainly and simply about what it is, the urgent warning signs everyone must know, what causes it, and most importantly, the practical steps you can take, starting right now, to build a powerful defense against it. This isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. Let's begin. Part 1. The critical warning signs of a stroke, your body's alarm system. Imagine your brain is the command center for your entire body. It's a bustling city, with billions of nerve cells working around the clock. This city needs a constant, uninterrupted supply of fuel to function, and that fuel is oxygen-rich blood, delivered through a complex network of blood vessels, like highways. A stroke happens when one of those highways gets blocked or bursts. When that happens, a part of your brain city suddenly loses its power supply. The command center for a specific function, like speaking or moving your left arm, or seeing out of your right eye, goes dark. The signs and symptoms of a stroke are the direct result of which part of the brain has lost its blood supply. Recognizing these signs quickly is the single most important factor in determining the outcome of a stroke. There's a saying in the medical community, time is brain. For every minute a stroke goes untreated, millions of brain cells die. And once they're gone for good. To make it easy to remember the most common signs, we use the acronym BFAST. I want you to memorize this. Teach it to your spouse, your children, and your friends. It could save a life. B. Balance. Is the person suddenly having trouble with balance or coordination? Are they stumbling, feeling dizzy, or unable to walk straight? This isn't just a simple case of lightheadedness. It can feel like the world is spinning vertigo, or like you've completely lost your sense of equilibrium. It's a sign that the part of the brain that coordinates movement, the cerebellum, might be in trouble. Is the person experiencing a sudden change in their vision in one or both eyes? This can show up in a few ways. Sudden blurry vision. Sudden double vision. A complete loss of sight in one eye, sometimes described as a curtain coming down. People often dismiss this, thinking their glasses prescription is off or their eyes are just tired. But a sudden and unexplained vision change is a major red flag that the blood supply to the visual part of your brain has been disrupted. Face drooping. Ask the person to smile. Does one side of the face droop or feel numb? Is the smile uneven or lopsided? A stroke can paralyze the muscles on one side of the face. When you ask for a big, toothy grin, one side will work perfectly while the other remains flat and unresponsive. This is one of the most classic and recognizable signs. Arm weakness. Ask the person to raise both arms straight out in front of them, like they're holding a pizza box. Does one arm drift downward? If you ask them to hold their arms up for 10 seconds, one arm might slowly sag or they may not be able to lift it at all. This same weakness or numbness can also affect a leg on the same side of the body. It might feel like the limb has fallen asleep, but the pins and needles feeling won't go away. This indicates the motor cortex in the brain, which controls voluntary movement, isn't getting its blood. Speech difficulty. Is the person's speech slurred? Are they unable to speak or hard to understand? Ask them to repeat a simple sentence, like, "The sky is blue." Do they struggle to get the words out? Do the words come out jumbled or nonsensical? There are two ways this can happen. They might know exactly what they want to say, but the brain can't get the message to the muscles of the mouth and tongue correctly, slurred speech. Or they might not be able to find the words at all, or what they say makes no sense, and they may not be able to understand what you are saying to them. This is a sign that the language centers of the brain are affected. Time to call 911. This is the most important part of the acronym. If you see any of these signs, even if they seem to go away, it is time to call 911 immediately. Please, do not wait and see. Do not try to drive the person to the hospital yourself. Paramedics can begin life-saving assessment and treatment on the way. They are trained to recognize stroke symptoms and will take the patient to the most appropriate hospital, often one that is a designated stroke center, with specialized teams ready to act the moment you arrive. Calling 911 is the fastest way to get someone the care they need. Note the time the first symptom appeared. This information is crucial for the medical team. One more important sign, the thunderclap headache. While the FAST signs are most common, there is another symptom you need to know about, particularly for a certain type of stroke. This is a sudden, severe headache that people often describe as the worst headache of my life. It comes on in an instant, like a clap of thunder, and is often accompanied by a stiff neck, nausea, and vomiting. This can be a sign of a bleeding stroke, which is a medical emergency of the highest order. If this happens, call 911 without a moment's hesitation. Remember, recognizing these signs isn't about being a doctor, it's about being a prepared friend, spouse, parent, or neighbor. Knowing BFST gives you the power to act, and in the case of a stroke, fast action is everything. Part 2. What's happening inside? The two main causes of stroke. So, we know that a stroke is a brain attack caused by a disruption of blood flow. But what exactly causes that disruption? It's important to understand this because it helps explain why the prevention strategies we'll discuss later are so effective. There are two main culprits, or types of stroke. Think of it this way. The highways to your brain city can either get a major blockage or one of them can burst. 1. The blockage, ischemic stroke, the most common type. About 87% of all strokes are ischemic, pronounced ischemic. The word ischemia simply means a lack of blood flow to a part of the body. In this case, it's the brain. Imagine a water pipe leading to your house. Over the years, if the water has a lot of sediment and minerals in it, a hard, scaly buildup can form on the inside of the pipe, making the opening narrower and narrower. This is very similar to what happens in your arteries. This buildup is called atherosclerosis, or hardening of the arteries. It's made of cholesterol, fat, and other substances that clump together to form something called plaque. An ischemic stroke can happen in two main ways. A clot forms right there. The plaque buildup in an artery leading to the brain can become so large that it severely restricts or completely blocks blood flow. Or the surface of the plaque can rupture, and the body will try to heal it by forming a blood clot on top, which then blocks the artery. This is like a traffic accident happening right on the main highway into the city. A clot travels from elsewhere. Sometimes, a blood clot can form somewhere else in the body, most often in the heart, and then travel through the bloodstream until it gets lodged in one of the brain's narrower arteries. Think of this as a truck breaking down on a side street in another town, and then being towed onto the main highway, where it causes a massive jam in your brain city. A very common cause for this is a heart condition called atrial fibrillation, AFib, where the heart's upper chambers beat irregularly and chaotically, allowing blood to pool and form clots. In both cases, the result is the same. Brain cells downstream from the blockage are starved of oxygen and begin to die. 2. The burst pipe, hemorrhagic stroke. While less common, hemorrhagic, pronounced hemorrhagic, strokes are often more severe. Hemorrhage simply means bleeding. This is the burst pipe scenario. A hemorrhagic stroke happens when a weakened blood vessel in the brain ruptures and leaks blood into the surrounding brain tissue. This causes damage in two ways. First, the areas of the brain that were supposed to get blood from that artery are now starved of oxygen, just like in an ischemic stroke. Second, The blood that has leaked out of the vessel pools and puts pressure on the surrounding brain tissue, compressing and damaging it. Imagine a water pipe bursting inside the wall of your home. You not only have a problem with the rooms that aren't getting water anymore, but you also have significant water damage to the walls, floors, and foundation where the water has leaked. What causes a blood vessel to weaken and burst? The number one cause, by a long shot, is uncontrolled high blood pressure, hypertension. Let's go back to our garden hose analogy. If you turn the spigot on full blast and clamp the end of the hose, the pressure inside builds and builds. Over time, that constant high pressure will weaken the walls of the hose, making it more likely to bulge, an aneurysm, or burst. The same thing happens in your arteries. Years of high blood pressure put relentless stress on your artery walls, making them thin, brittle, and prone to rupture. Understanding these two causes, the blockage and the bleed, is key. Because as we're about to see, almost everything we do to prevent a stroke is aimed at keeping our pipes clean, strong, and under the right amount of pressure. Part 3. Building your fortress, how to prevent a stroke. Now we come to the most hopeful and empowering part of our conversation. While we can't change our age or our family history, experts estimate that up to 80% of strokes are preventable. You have a tremendous amount of control over your risk. Preventing a stroke isn't about a single magic pill. It's about making a series of smart, consistent choices that protect your entire circulatory system, your heart, and all of your blood vessels. It's about building a fortress of good health, brick by brick. Let's look at the most important bricks in that fortress. 1. Control your blood pressure, the cornerstone of prevention. If you remember only one thing from this section, let it be this. Controlling your blood pressure is the single most important thing you can do to reduce your risk of stroke. High blood pressure is often called the silent killer because it usually has no symptoms. You can feel perfectly fine while, inside your body, it's silently damaging your arteries, heart, and kidneys, setting the stage for both ischemic and hemorrhagic strokes. Know your numbers. Get your blood pressure checked regularly. You don't have to wait for a doctor's appointment. Many pharmacies have free, reliable machines. Or better yet, consider getting an affordable home blood pressure monitor. It's easy to use and gives you the power to track your numbers yourself. Talk to your doctor about what your goal blood pressure should be. Generally, we aim for a number below 130/80 mmHg. Take your medication as prescribed. If your doctor has prescribed medication for high blood pressure, please take it. I hear patients say, "But I feel fine," or "I don't like taking pills." I understand that. But this medication is a shield. It's working silently in the background to protect you from a devastating event. Think of it not as a crutch, but as an essential tool in your health toolkit. Slash the salt. One of the easiest ways to lower blood pressure is to reduce your sodium intake. Most of the salt we eat doesn't come from the salt shaker. It comes from processed, packaged, and restaurant foods. Start reading labels. Look for low-sodium options. Cook more at home where you can control the ingredients. Flavor your food with herbs, spices, garlic, and citrus instead of salt. 2. Eat a heart-healthy and brain-healthy diet. What you eat has a direct impact on your blood pressure, your cholesterol levels, and the health of your arteries. You don't need a complicated, restrictive diet. Focus on eating more real, whole foods. Paint your plate with a rainbow. Fill your plate with a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables. They are packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that protect your blood vessels. Potassium, found in bananas, potatoes, spinach, and beans, is particularly good at helping your body manage sodium and lower blood pressure. Choose healthy fats. Not all fats are bad. You want to avoid trans fats, found in many baked goods and fried foods, and limit saturated fats, found in red meat and full-fat dairy. Instead, opt for healthy unsaturated fats found in olive oil, avocados, nuts, and seeds. Embrace fiber. Foods high in soluble fiber, like oatmeal, barley, apples, and beans, can help lower your bad LDL cholesterol, the kind that forms plaque in your arteries. Go for lean protein. Choose fish, especially fatty fish like salmon, which is high in omega-3 fatty acids, poultry without the skin, and plant-based proteins like lentils and chickpeas over fatty red meats. Think of it as the Mediterranean way of eating: lots of plants, healthy fats, lean protein, and whole grains. It's delicious and incredibly powerful for your health. 3. Move your body regularly. Exercise is medicine. You don't have to run a marathon. The goal is consistency. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity activity most days of the week. Walking is wonderful. A brisk walk around the neighborhood is one of the best and most accessible forms of exercise. Find something you enjoy. If you hate the treadmill, don't use it. Try swimming, water aerobics, dancing, gardening, or cycling. If you enjoy it, you're more likely to stick with it. Break it up. Can't find a 30-minute block? 3 10-minute walks throughout the day are just as effective. Regular physical activity strengthens your heart, improves circulation, helps control weight, and is a fantastic natural way to lower both blood pressure and stress. 4. Manage your cholesterol. As we discussed, high levels of LDL, bad cholesterol, are a primary ingredient in the plaque that clogs arteries. Your diet and exercise plan will go a long way toward managing this. Your doctor will also check your cholesterol levels with a simple blood test. If your levels are high, they may recommend medication, like a statin, to help lower them. Like blood pressure medicine, statins are a powerful, proven tool for preventing heart attacks and strokes. 5. Quit smoking and limit alcohol. These are two of the toughest lifestyle changes, but they are absolutely critical. If you smoke, please stop. Smoking is devastating to your blood vessels. It damages their lining, makes your blood stickier and more likely to clot, raises your blood pressure, and lowers your good HDL cholesterol. Quitting is the single most powerful step you can take for your cardiovascular health. It's hard, I know, but you don't have to do it alone. Talk to your doctor. There are many effective resources, from nicotine replacement therapies to support groups, that can help you succeed. Drink alcohol in moderation. Excessive alcohol consumption can raise your blood pressure and increase your risk for atrial fibrillation. If you choose to drink, the guideline is to do so in moderation. That means no more than 1 drink per day for women and no more than 2 drinks per day for men. Building this fortress takes time and effort, but every single brick you lay makes you safer and stronger. Start with one small change today. Decide to take a walk after dinner. Choose a piece of fruit over a cookie. Check your blood pressure. Every step counts. Conclusion: you have the power to protect your future. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the urgent BFAST warning signs to the simple, daily choices that can protect your brain for a lifetime. A stroke can indeed be sudden and life-altering, but it is not a random event over which you have no control. By understanding the causes and recognizing the early warnings, you shift from being a potential victim to being a proactive guardian of your own health. So let's bring it all home. What are the key takeaways? Memorize BFAST, balance, eyes, face, arm, speech time, and teach it to your loved ones. If you spot any sign, call 911 immediately. Remember, time is brain. Know and control your blood pressure. This is your #1 defense. Embrace a lifestyle of prevention. A diet rich in plants, regular movement, and avoiding smoking are not chores. They are acts of self-respect and love for your body and your future. I want to leave you with a final call to action. Knowledge is only powerful when it's put into practice and shared. Schedule an appointment with your doctor. Have an honest conversation about your personal risk for stroke. Talk about your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and the lifestyle steps you can take. Share this information. Please, send this article to your spouse, your children, your siblings, and your friends. Sit down with them and talk about the BEFAST signs. Make a plan for what to do in an emergency. Creating a circle of awareness within your family and community is one of the most loving things you can do. You have the knowledge. You have the power. Don't be afraid, be prepared. Thank you for taking this time for your health.